Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Today it's going to be one of those other forms of rock music, as we're back here on Wednesday night to do an episode of my favorites. This is going to be a top 25, and it's a revise. What that really means is that I did an original episode of this maybe 10 months ago or 11 months ago when I was just really starting to explore this particular genre again. And I've explored it enough now that I want to kind of give a second video on it. Of course, we're talking about heavy metal. So I'm going to give you my top 25 favorite heavy metal bands. It's changed a bit since the first one, because back then I really didn't know too much about, only little bits I heard here and there and stuff like that made me kind of put together a list. I've been listening to a lot more metal in the last year than I was prior to that for a long time. And some of the bands that I had on that original list, if you want, I'm going to hit the link so that you can go back and check that one if you want to. What are these people with their air brakes today? I don't know what's going on. Anyways, we're going to go back and I've removed some of these bands because in retrospect, after having listened to a lot more metal, I've decided that they don't really qualify, so I've removed a lot of them. But I've added a couple bands that I didn't originally think qualified either, but I now think do. So there's a couple of them in here. So this should be an interesting list anyways. And we're going to do this the way I always do it, which is my least favorite to my most favorite, number 25 to number 1, worst to best, whatever you want to call it. And we'll start by doing number 25 first. And then at the end, I'll give you, I had about 5 or 6 extra bands here that I thought should be on the list, but didn't quite make the top 25, so I'll give them as honorable mentions. So I don't have props for every group, but I do have for most of the top 10. I think for the top 10 I have all of them for sure, and then a few here after that. Okay, so starting out, I do have this one. Originally I didn't consider this a metal band. I considered it more of a progressive band, but I've come to think of them as kind of both, so I'm going to put them in here. Dream Theater are going to come in at number 25. I have a few of their albums, and there's one that I have that I don't really like, but there's a couple of, this one is one of the ones I do like. So number 25, Dream Theater. Same with this band, but to me these are a little more metal, so they had to be in here. One of the 3 what I would call progressive metal bands that everybody knows. This is number 2, Queensryche. Some people would put this band a lot higher. This is the only album I own by them. Had a chance to get the big one, which I can't think of the name of it right now, but for whatever reason I didn't get it. I got something else instead. But really pretty solid band, I think. And so they're going to come in at number 25. Now number 23 is a band I heard for the first time maybe a month ago. I've listened to the album a couple times now and are highly recommend it. And it's Cirith Ungol. This is a really strong band. I really like this band quite a bit. I can see me listening to them a lot more too. Next up, number 22, a band that I featured on my metal show. It's actually one guy doing the whole band thing. It's one. There's a lot of them in metal, I found. He's one of them. Hell Ripper is the name of the band. I really like his stuff a lot. It's pretty aggressive stuff too, which is really well liked for me. Next up, a band that I got also I think from metal, which is called Skullfist. Another good band I'm really starting to like a lot. The next one up is a band that I did, I think it was on my very first episode of metal, female vocalist. I like this band a lot. I have gone back to their stuff a few times. I've looked for their stuff. I haven't been able to find any at this point, but I definitely would like to have something from them. This is called Cellar Darling, coming in at number 20. Number 19 is a band that I originally thought of as a hard rock band, but having listened to several of their albums over the last year or so, I've decided that, I don't know why I got this going on today. I've decided to give them credit as a metal band, and I'm going to call them a metal band today. So number 19 is Budgie. Yeah, they got some really heavy stuff, man. Seriously heavy. Number 18 is the Michael Schenker Group. In here, virtue of his amazing guitar playing. Yeah, absolutely killer. And so I gave them, based on some of the stuff I've listened to, I put them in number 18. Number 17 is a band that I actually saw live. At the time, I didn't know I was going to like them, but I did. A Canadian band that may coincidentally be featured in my mini-series coming up. This band is called Anvil. Next up is one of the big four of those, I don't know what you call them. Are they thrash metal? I think they're thrash metal. I think that's what they call this stuff. Slayer, of course, I'm talking about. Number 16. This is a band that I first became aware of from a girl I worked with, going back maybe a dozen years or more now. And she was a huge fan of them. And when I had a speeding ticket and I had to go to the to court, and I was sitting in the pews, and right there she had wrote her name and the band's name in the pews as well. So yeah, Slayer, number 16. Number 15, this is another band that I did not put in here originally as a heavy metal band. And they may not indeed be a heavy metal band, but they are so heavy. And they're talking about Buffalo from Australia, another great band, coming in number 15. Number 14 is a band I've done. I did a cover on What's New for them. They were the first What's New episode this year. Metal band, and then I also did them on my metal show, which is called Dark Cluster. Another solo guy doing all the stuff here again. Fantastic stuff. Next up, I discovered this band when checking out Iron Maiden, some of their stuff, and then the guitar player in this band is the son of one of the members of Iron Maiden. And this band's called Raven's Age. I really like these guys quite a bit. I think I can see them moving up quite a bit in the near future as well. I've got to get a few of their albums. Not as easy to find these things as you might think. Number 12, Diamond Head. This was given to me on Ben's Album Challenge originally. I also featured them on my metal show. Like these guys quite a bit. I originally thought of them as a bit of a glam band, but I don't really think they are now. I think they're just older style kind of heavy metal, and definitely a really solid band, Diamond Head. Number 11, I love what I did these on my metal show, but I really like the doominess of their music. Definitely want to hear a lot more from these guys. They made the top 11 based on just some of the stuff I've been listening to by them, and that's Silver Tomb. Now, the next 10 I have for these are mostly older bands that I've known and listened to for years. But they're being challenged, and that's what it's all about, right? Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so tired all of a sudden. I was fine when I started it, but it seems to be getting bad. Anyways, number 10, Uriah Heep. Originally, kind of didn't think of these as a metal band. Thought of them as a hard rock, progressive band. But the more I listen to them, especially the newer stuff, that new album, Chaos in Color, very heavy. It's very metalish. Yeah, so I'm putting them in this list today. Number 10, Uriah Heep. Number 9 really moved up a lot because I got 3 albums by them recently, and I love all 3 of them. And these aren't even the metal band, the metal albums as much as some of the later stuff, but still really hard. Scorpions, yes, definitely number 9 there. Number 8 is one of those 3 progressive metal bands that are the big 3. Fate's Warning. I really like this collection of songs too. Great album. Fate's Warning coming in number 8. Number 7, I do like. I've got several of these guys' albums. One of them I've been listening to. This one I do like quite a bit, and most people do. Masters of Puppets, Metallica. Metallica got to be number 7. A lot of people would put these guys a lot higher. I'm not as big into the thrash music as I probably might be if I started out with them, but I do like this album quite a bit. Master of Puppets, Metallica. Number 6 kind of made a bit of a renaissance with me this year after 30 or 40 years of not really listening to him too much, and I do have most of his earlier stuff. Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, definitely strong metal stuff here. Lots of good stuff. More so on the earlier albums than this one. Is kind of the last of those big ones at the end. Next up, another bit of a band that's done a bit of a renaissance. They appeared on Metal. I've done some of their albums in my classic rock album look backs, I think. And we're talking about Whitesnake. Yeah, definitely a strong contender to make a comeback this year. Number 5. Number 4 had to be this. I love this album, Ronnie James Dio and Dio. I have some of his other stuff, but I really love this album quite a bit. I've seen him live too a couple times, actually, once with Sabbath and once on his own. Really great. Love him. Ronnie James Dio, number 4. The top 3, not going to be surprised to anybody. They're easily number 1, 2, and 3. Nobody's even close to any of them. In fact, number 2 and 3 are like really fighting it out right now, because for years one of them dominated, and now the other one is really starting to take it to them. And so number 3, Judas Priest. I've gotten quite a few of their albums. I've been listening to them a lot. They're really moving up for me. I think number 2 is going to be in trouble here. Number 2, of course, is Iron Maiden. I do like their stuff a lot. A lot of it I've been listening to for years, but the Judas Priest stuff is really challenging them. But for today, Iron Maiden is going to be number 2. And of course, number 1 was never going to be anybody but these guys. They've got more masterpiece albums than any other band that I listen to, prog or not prog. And I haven't even gotten to the one era of them yet, the Tony Martin era, and we're talking about Black Sabbath. Yeah, the shirt was probably a giveaway, right? So Black Sabbath is going to win this, and not really surprising. These just got so much good stuff from so many different genres too, like from doom metal to thrash metal to speed metal to even just plain old hard grinding metal. Yeah, such good music, and different eras of their music as well. These guys with their freaking air brakes, man, I swear, too much. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to reiterate them all and then give you the honorable mentions too. So coming in, number 1, Black Sabbath. Number 2, Iron Maiden. And number 3, Judas Priest. No surprises, right? Ronnie James Dio, or just Dio. Number 4. Number 5, Whitesnake. Number 6, Ozzy Osbourne. Number 7, Metallica. Number 8, Fate's Warning. Number 9, The Scorpions. Number 10, Uriah Heep. Number 11 is Silver Tomb. Number 12 is Diamond Head. Number 13 is Raven's Age. Number 14 is Dark Cluster. Number 15 is Buffalo. Number 16 is Slayer. Number 17 is Anvil. Then MSG is in at number 18. Budgie at number 19. Cellar Darling at number 20. Skullfist at number 21. Hell Raven at number 22. Cirith Ungol at number 23. Queensryche number 24. And Dream Theater at number 25. And the challengers that almost made it but didn't quite: Beast in Black Praying Mantis, Venom, Savatage, Tigers of Pangtan, who just recently got exposed to me. I thought I had to put them in there today, show how much I like them. And I'm sure there's others that I'm just not thinking of, but that's my new list, my new top 25 favorite heavy metal bands revised from 2024. I may do this again next year until I start getting like a really solid foundation. So this is much better list than the original list, I think, because I've listened to a lot more stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Favorites. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget to make your comments. If you want to put your metal list down there, because I look through those lists because there may be somebody I don't know, and I want to. That's how I discover stuff too, that way. So if you want to put that in your list down there, that's great. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And we will see you next week on Favorites. Probably going to be doing a 5 again. I like to bounce back and forth, but I might do a top 10 of some kind as well. So anyways, I hope to see you then. Take care. Goodbye.